This is a space for honest conversations about relationships, desire, and non-monogamy, specifically through the lens of Black and POC experiences.
We're your hosts, Compersion Dan and She. This podcast exists because so many conversations around swinging and E&M don't sound like us, don't center us, or don't consider the cultural layers we carry into these spaces.
We're not here to convince anyone of anything, just to talk openly, ask real questions, and share what we've learned, what we're still learning, and what often gets left unsaid.
This podcast started as a conversation between friends, the kind you don't always hear out loud.
This isn't about labels or perfection, it's about honesty, curiosity, and creating a space for people who don't always see themselves reflected in these conversations. Hello, 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 She. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. I've had a rather interesting weekend, which we can maybe have a quick chat about. But I just wanted to, have you been
Yes.
up to anything interesting lately, or?
Um, Gosh, a lot's happened like last week, but yeah, the party was really good. Well done for that one.
Thank you, and thank you for that.
I enjoyed myself, as you know. Um, yeah, it was really good. I felt really comfortable. That was
Yeah,
another thing, just reflective wise. I felt really comfortable in that space. There was good people there,
yeah.
which made it very easy. The conversations were really nice and flowy.
Mm.
There's one thing that I have been meaning to ask you, but I know I haven't asked you. I think I will ask you that one.
Okay,
It's
go
about
ahead.
a particular person that was at the party that
Yeah,
I knew from a long, 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 long time ago. But you
yeah.
know me, and I think I mentioned this in one of the group chats with my mental cachet. I'm really good at erasing things, and it's just been one of my little coping mechanism things that I do.
Okay.
If it's not there, it's not in my space. Therefore, I give it no energy, which might sound a bit bad, but to me, it's protecting my space, protecting my peace, and that's how I've been doing it. So I've become
Mm.
really good at it. But yeah, so that was the party. That was really good. I enjoyed that. I went to a brunch before I went to the party. I was full on last week.
Mm.
Then we did the social honey kill. That was so much fun. I enjoyed that loads.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's been my week. Really?
Okay. Um, I,
Yeah.
I, I want to latch on to something. I think you started talking about something and then you brushed over it, unless that's my imagination. You said that if something's in the past, you blank it. It sounded
Yeah.
like there needed to be a continuation of that. What do you mean?
I
What were
don't
you
I
saying?
wouldn't say blanket per se because I think blanket can be a bit harsh when it's almost
Mm.
like when you blank someone. So not blanking it per se, but I you know as I get older, I have a lot, when you have a lot of things going on in your
Mm.
just vanilla life generally, and you've got other things that other sort of being somebody who's not ethically non-monogamous, you've got other relational sort of dynamics that are going on outside of what your main dynamic is, or just generally dynamics going on.
Mm.
So if I engage with people and eventually you kind of get to know people because I've made a conscious effort to want to get to know people for who they are. And sometimes the first few layers do not always reveal what the person is. And there's another story to that we'll get to some point. The first few
Mm.
layers are not always what you think about the person
Mm.
until you get to know them eventually through talking. So I don't really rush into getting into meeting situations with people because I think it gives me that time to be able to get a revelation of the person and who they are in conversation. And some people might do it differently, but that's just
Mm.
what I've decided to do for myself. So eventually, if I do in the process of getting to know this person or people, and I find out that they're not aligning with what my non-monogamous lifestyle is, I just eventually cut ties.
Mm.
And in cutting ties, it means me not investing myself mentally with that person as well. So, which means for my own sanity, I would have to sort of erase you in my mental log somewhere
Okay.
and
Yeah.
just move on. Um, and that's what I do. And sometimes that surprises people. And I was talking to a close friend who's had the same sort of experience with somebody that she knew 4 years ago, and that person suddenly just reappeared out of nowhere. And the person was really, really irritated that she couldn't remember who he was. And when
So
she was talking to me about this, and I was thinking,
the person was irritated
she
that,
knew the person 4 years ago.
yeah.
They had a something going on that 4 years ago.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she got a message from this person,
Mm.
which was just put a bit of context in it, which was on her other phone that she'd never turned on for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, when she turned this phone on, there was a message going back to March saying Happy Mother's Day. And she was like, I don't know who this person is.
Okay.
And I said, wait, I have the same experience. How do we keep going through the same things? So yeah, so she didn't know who it was. She decided to message the person, so therefore messaged the person. And the person was like, how dare you not remember who I am? I remember such and 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 such about you.
Mm.
And there were things that you couldn't really make up. And I had two eye situation at the Honeycomb Munch with somebody that I knew years ago, which was really similar, which was really weird. But yeah, so I tend to sort of put that away. I think we're
Mm.
veering a little bit because this is not what we're meant to be talking about today. But yeah, but that was
Mm.
that was really interesting. So that's what I do. I just automatically just forget. Like it didn't work. Oh well, let's move on. I'm moving on to something else. And that means me not having to have you in my mental space
Yeah.
as well. It'll be
Well,
interesting to know if anybody else does that
mm.
as well.
Yeah. I can definitely see that. But if we are going to drift into today's topic, it does actually tie into it because literally yesterday,
Mm.
someone popped up in my feed, as they say. That was actually my Fab Swingers feed. I thought, oh, okay,
Oh.
let me say hello. So
Hmm.
basically, it was someone who was one half of a couple that I met a few times a few years ago. Long story short, we got chatting. So if you imagine this is about 10 o'clock in the morning, and by let me see, by 9:30 yesterday, um, we were upstairs in their bedroom. So,
Oh wow.
so yeah,
That
it was one of those surreal, unexpected days.
when things
That's
like that happen, don't you think there was a good connection and there has been some sort of thought process to the whole situation? Because no way would something spark up that quickly, I think. Because from my own personal experience, if somebody I was into just popped up and we were able to sort of sort something out that quickly, I would think, this is something that I've really missed and I want to go back and experience it again, or maybe
um,
even experience more.
yeah, it was yeah, everything definitely aligned. It was weird because I mean,
Yeah.
we lost touch for a bunch of reasons. Nothing negative about our connection, and they had stuff going on in their lives, etc., etc. So,
Mm.
and but one of the interesting things that aligned is, because one thing I always ask whenever the possibility of something might happen, I say, okay, when was the last time you got tested? So we
Mm.
exchanged details, and literally, we just by pure coincidence, we've all been tested within the last 1, 2 weeks. So that was so.
Perfect.
So that was one thing that we didn't
I
have,
love
have
that.
to concern
I love
ourselves
it.
with.
The alignment is just perfect.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
love
that.
it. Well, we have to reiterate how important it is to get tested, because
Mm,
all we're having all this fun, and sometimes some people may not, or may not, or things happen sometimes, and it's not an excuse. We
yeah,
just need to make sure that we are tested as we carry on with the fun that we're having. But yeah,
yeah,
that's amazing. That sounds great. That
yeah. Now that worked out very nicely indeed. Oh, actually, yeah. If I'm just to push that point ever so slightly, because this may apply to people who are new to living a non-monogamous life. So
mm, mm,
one thing that you sometimes discover, and I had this fear in the early days as well, people are, and I don't think I'm exaggerating,
hmm.
people are terrified of getting tested in
Oh,
the early
absolutely.
days. It's like, and
Absolutely.
they tie themselves up in mental knots about going to get a
Hmm.
test. And
Hmm.
I would suggest it's something to please get over it ASAP,
Yeah.
because it's very important. And if you
Mhm.
think of it in the long term, the more you take that seriously, the more fun you can have. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can have your fun stress free,
Yeah.
So, and just in case you are a shy person, and I'm going to make a slight funny analogy. I think of
Hmm.
it a bit like imagine that you could only buy condoms from a sex shop. So there may be some people who have a similar feeling about walking into a sexual health clinic. It's, oh God,
What else is in this sex shop? I want to
yeah.
know,
Well,
because I'm curious.
I mean it in the sense of not wanting to be seen to be going there. And
Yeah.
I think that may put some people off being tested. But now
Mm,
I'm not that knowledgeable about other parts of the UK, but here in London, you can literally
mm,
just go to SHL, I think it's shl.co.uk, is a sexual health thing with the
hmm,
NHS,
hmm,
and you could order
hmm.
your test kit. And
Absolutely. That gets sent straight to your house.
exactly, yeah. So there's no need to be overly concerned about things like that. Yeah. So did you ask
Mhm.
what have you never been to a sex
Yeah.
shop, by the way?
Oh, oh, hello.
I
It's
was,
me.
I was a bit, yeah.
Any excuse. Any excuse. I walk past the on summer shop. Any excuse to get in there. I see some nice lingerie. I'm there because I love lingerie.
Yeah.
And then I walk right straight into the back. You know how Unsummers is, every Unsummers you walk into,
Mm.
it's the same. So you basically walk into a pile of lingerie at the front just to entice you to come in. And then you walk right to the back where the kink gear is. And I love some of the leather kink gear in there as well. So it's so nice. That's where I always end up. And then you want to look at the new toys and things that are in there as well.
Oh, that's
That's like a
interesting.
candy store for me.
Oh, okay. Do you know? Yeah, because the last time I went into an Ann Summers, well, it predates my kink days. So
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't. If I'd seen the kink stuff, it probably would have gone right over my head. I would not have known what I was
Yeah.
looking at. If I was to go now, I would know what I'm looking at. But
Of course you
yeah,
would. Of course you would.
yeah.
I think a lot of us buy toys online nowadays as well because it's accessible. And I found out through one of the delivery services that you can actually order stuff on there the other day. I was telling someone, which was really like, what? You could order a toy, like just deliver a toy or just,
Right. Are we talking about the same thing? Because
yeah.
are we talking about the very well-known organization that begins with A that you can buy just about any toy you can think of? Is that what you're talking about, or something else?
Yeah, yeah. I saw them advertising that you can like
Hmm.
use use your food sort of delivery services to
Yeah.
deliver alternatives.
Yeah. I've
Oh,
got
it's
some of my best
exciting.
toys from there.
Listen, best high street shop for your sex needs is that one. Long, 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 long
Yeah.
before my kink days and
Mm.
way into my kink days as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely
I
very
love me,
useful.
love me
But
some.
let me tell you something interesting about my adventure yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we we got reacquainted,
Mm-hmm.
and it turned out to be a very a very lovely situation. And
Hmm.
there came a point towards the end, and um, how can I put this delicate? Okay, so um,
No,
the
don't
woman.
put it delicately. Just say it.
Okay, well, okay. So the woman said to me about two, three times, and it's only the third time I latched onto what she was actually saying. So she said, "Oh, is
Hmm.
there anything else I can do for you?" And I say, "No, I'm fine. You know, I'm happy. I'm here to." And then I realized because
Hmm.
basically she had come, her husband had
Hmm.
come, but I hadn't come,
Hmm. Oh,
and it reminded me.
I.
So now this is a conversation that I have with most of my partners, but because there'd been a
Hmm.
long gap, um,
Hmm.
I'd kind of forgotten to remind them that because basically
Mm.
the way that I approach sex with people, um, I've always been I'm here for the journey, not the destination. So when I'm so when I meet people, I'm not trying to come.
Hmm.
And perhaps controversially, I'm not trying to make someone come either. And
Yes.
I have a number of reasons for that. But one
Hmm.
of them is I don't want the pressure and I don't want them to have the pressure. I just want to
Okay.
I just want to scenically enjoy the journey. Now,
Hmm.
so my take is if for some strange reason someone ends up orgasming while I'm enjoying the scenic route of exploring them,
Hmm.
so be
Hmm.
it. But that's not the goal. I'm just enjoying the experience. But I've
Hmm.
noticed more often than not, and especially if I don't mention this, um, people feel the pressure to make me come, and I, I I picked up the vibe that they feel like some kind of failure if I don't come. So
Hmm.
so it's always been a combination of either they feel like some kind of failure or they're not sexy enough for me, or yeah, it's those kind of thoughts. So it's always been something that I would generally bring up to preempt that, to reassure people, because it has nothing to do with that. It's just I don't know. That's just how I'm wired. What's your take on that?
Hmm. Oh my God. When we said we were going to have this conversation, I was very, like, I was just intrigued because I'm one of those people where you feel that pressure to make somebody to want to come, or the goal is to, you should, we're in this space now, so I think I need to come for this to look like a full experience, or full sexual experience. There has to be that coming, and that's how it's always been wired in me. And even with having this conversation, is it's like I want to find out other ways that I can be fully satisfied, not fully satisfied per se, but I can just be in that space without having to think you have to come or I have to come, and just be able to enjoy the experience. To me, that doesn't seem like something that is of a possibility. Again, it's a wiring system. It's from when I've had sex, from day dot when I had sex, I knew that sex is about coming. That person has to come. My partner has to come. I have to come for the experience to be whole. And that, I'm learning, is not the case. But it's also a struggle in my mind because I've still got that mentality of, I've still got to make someone come. If I don't make you come, then I feel like I haven't done what I need to do, or I'm not really good at what I'm doing. So therefore, you haven't come because I'm not good at what you're doing. And you find that a lot of people will ask you, have you come? Because they want that reassurance that you've come. And that would make them feel like they have satisfied you just because you've come.
Yeah, and
Why is it important? Do I have
yeah,
to come? Yeah.
I can understand why a lot of people feel that way, but I don't want to say it's a mission, but I so don't want that to be, because to me it's like to me, if you're thinking about coming or making the person come, then to me, you're not in the moment. That's my take on it. And
That's
also,
it.
and from my own point of view, it I'm happy either way, because if
Hmm.
I do come, I come, and it's perfectly pleasurable, and oh, I really enjoyed that. But if I don't
Yeah.
come, and I think it's because okay, right from my teenage days of early exploration, although I didn't know
Mm.
the name for it, I've always been an edger. So
Okay.
um so I always enjoyed prolonging the experience. So for me, and it's how I, okay, if it's not too much information, it prolongs the experience. So because I didn't come last night,
Mm.
I'm still in a rather alert state,
Yeah.
if you see what I mean. So for me,
But but
the experience is
but
still
some people
ongoing.
would look but some people would look at that as disappointing. Wouldn't you think so? Most people would, because you're thinking,
Yeah,
I'm thinking you're I would be thinking to myself, now I need to have another encounter with somebody
yeah,
else
yeah,
for me to have that release.
yeah, yeah.
How
For
was
me,
that experience satisfying for you? That's what I want to know.
it just is. Maybe it's just the way that I'm wired, but for me, it was a fully complete experience, and having it
Yeah.
prolonged. Like I said, it's not that I'm. Well, I was about to say it's not that I'm trying not to come, but that's not quite true, because there is a. So
Does
the,
it does it do something for you though? Because I want to know. I want to experience that and get fulfillment from not coming. But I
um
don't think in my mindset I'm there yet, because I feel like I need to come. I love being pleased or pleasured in loads of different ways. And
yeah,
one of those ways, it probably is through clitoral stimulation
yeah,
that gets me going.
mm,
I mean, I need to be if I'm in a space, and I think I would have experienced something somewhat similar somewhere. If I was in that space, how would it make me feel? I'm even just thinking reflectively of that situation. Don't ask me to explain it, because I won't. I'll do it
um
off can't.
okay, so
I mean,
okay,
I can give you a slight explanation.
okay,
It's
yeah,
where I did have an experience where I focused mainly on, I would say, satisfying the other people more so than satisfying my needs, which again, I'm going towards the coming part when I talk about satisfaction. That experience, I can't remember how it made me feel, but because I was in a particular situation physiologically at the time, it didn't really feel like a hindrance to me. But if I wasn't in that physiological state, it probably would keep me thinking, well, I did this and that and the other, and I didn't get that done back to me.
right,
Do you see what I mean? It just kind of keeps
yeah.
me in that mental state, because obviously that's what I'm used to.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, I definitely understand what for me is a different mindset.
Yeah.
Um, and I suppose if someone has the other mindset, their first thought might be, oh, so if you're not trying to make that person come, then are you being a selfish lover? You see what I mean? That might be what
Mm.
they might think. But from my perspective is, if I flip it slightly, so for example, there is a period of time when I didn't I'll be a little bit graphic. I didn't um like getting blowjobs from people. I said,
Okay.
nah, pass. So I'll give you all, but there's no need to give me a blowjob. And the reason for that is because if someone gives me a blowjob and they're trying to make me come, it it for me is not sexy. So
Mm.
so that might sound a bit weird. That's not sexy for me. I want you to give me a blowjob because you love the feel of me in your mouth, and You're enjoying it for its own sake. So,
Hello.
so if you're doing it for its own sake, then I can be in the moment. Yes, this person is doing it. They love doing what they're doing. But if they're doing a task and they're vigorously doing whatever it is that they're doing, it takes
Mm.
me out of it.
And if
So
you enjoy it, you don't get tired.
exactly, yeah, and
There were
you
like
can,
people say, "Oh, my jaw's tired, my jaw's aching. I can't be
yeah,
there for that long because
yeah. Yeah,
not
and well, I would
really,
argue if your jaws are tired, it's because you're trying too hard to make that person come. But if you're enjoying the
right?
experience, you're varying your technique because you're doing this and you're doing that because you're just savoring the moment. So your jaws are less likely to get tired. But if you're trying to make them come by being extra vigorous, you can't do a 100-meter sprint for 400 meters. You know.
Listen,
So,
I feel so much. I feel vindicated today. I feel so much better. Like sometimes it's like, oh, how? Why that long? What were you doing? Like, really? Do you not get? If I'm turned on by you, you look lush. It feels lush to do it. You're enjoying it. The more time I'm going to spend down there because I know you're enjoying it.
see, now you're forcing me to bring things up.
Ah, no, I
Oh,
know you, and we
I'm,
know.
I'm so
Thank you
tempted.
very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, what happened at the party will not be disclosed.
No, it will not be disclosed. What happens at the party stays at Club BiVersity party. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll
And
pretend
that
to be a
includes you,
gentleman and not.
JC.
Oh dear. But yeah, yeah. And do you know what? I think that's why I've been very lazy in pursuing it. That's why I have an interest in Tantra. I know I
Oh,
I know very
yes.
little about it, but it speaks to me and I'm
Yeah.
keen to learn more because
Sensuality is the most
yeah,
beautiful thing.
yeah.
Yes,
And
definitely. If you find somewhere, let me know. I'm
yeah,
coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
yeah. And
Yeah.
from a male point of view, if you learn Tantra, you can have orgasms without, the
Have
depletion
you?
of fluids. So
For anybody that hasn't watched it on
Mm,
Netflix, it's a Gwyneth Paltrow thing. It's called Group. They do a lot
okay.
of like sexual activities, interactive activities. On one of those, I think it's Tantra. And
Mm,
somebody actually orgasms without having to have penetrative sex.
yeah,
That is a goal. That is a goal there.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
it looks like magic. It must feel like magic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
And that's like again, I don't know much about it, but that speaks to um what my I instinctively feel in terms of be in the moment,
mm,
stop
mm.
focusing on, just be in the moment. And if you're in the moment, then
Yeah.
every what someone might see as every tiny little thing has significance. And then you can just it's like, I don't know, going from monochrome to bright color. It's like, you're not just passing through, you're experiencing every single moment, every sensation. And to me, that's much more important than trying to achieve this thing because, that doesn't work for me, you know. And I won't say I'm perfect. No, sometimes I feel the pressure in the sense that I can feel the person feeling, oh, I've let him down. And so something,
Mm,
so I can feel it. Oh, because so someone said, oh,
yeah.
because they would say, "Oh, I see that as a challenge." No, please don't look at it as a challenge. Just enjoy the moment. You
You
know.
know, from last night with your experience,
Yeah,
you heard the questions afterwards.
yeah,
Um, Obviously, for you, probably wasn't anything for you because you like to. It's not about the end goal. It's not a focus on that end goal of having to orgasm.
mm,
How did you feel you left the person or the people after that night, knowing that you obviously didn't climax and they did, and there was a question posed to you? How do you think they felt?
I think it was actually okay because I refreshed their memory because we'd had this
Okay.
conversation in the past, and
Hmm.
also um, at the very beginning, at the beginning, um, and if I hadn't used my Kegel muscles, it would have been a very brief encounter. So they knew it had nothing to do with the state of my arousal.
You were just too way too overexcited.
Oh, oh, well, so,
Oh
and it's
no.
partly true. So yeah, it's kind of like yeah, it's either this is gonna last 30 seconds or it's not gonna happen at all. So
I
I said,
knew from speaking to you. You were so excited, weren't you?
so
You
yeah,
could not wait.
yeah, so they both knew that I was happy to be there. They were,
Hmm.
and they were actually happy to have the connection rekindled. And yeah, it's looking good for the future. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah, so there was no state of um um from the woman's point of view, was I sexy enough? So she felt reassured. And like
Um,
and I think it helped because we've met in the past before. And you know, sometimes you forget certain things about so oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So all of that concerns
I love
dissipated.
good sexual experiences.
Yeah,
They just
yeah,
leave you feeling so fulfilled. You just there's just this calmness, this niceness of that whole
yeah.
experience, which is nice. I get when you say you didn't. It's not important for you to come, and you didn't come
Mm.
in that experience because I'm sure you feel amazing. I even said to you, you sound like you've got a pep in your step today. All I can see you is
Yeah.
bounce around. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
no,
that.
it's awesome, and it's one of those rare circumstances to mean that you know we don't have to travel that far to see each other, which is a thing for me, as you probably know.
Mm,
So yeah, it's
mm,
yeah, I think there's going to be
trust me.
more adventures.
Distance is a big thing in this lifestyle,
Yeah,
especially when you meet people that you align with.
yeah,
It just makes it so much easier when they're within close proximities, and it's not always
mm,
easy, as you know. Well,
yeah,
we both know to
mm.
navigate these things with certain people. So yeah, good on you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Conversion. I'm feeling conversion today.
Oh my goodness, boy,
What?
did her husband have compersion.
Oh
Oh
my days.
my goodness. Yeah.
Oh,
That was, yeah. It
oh,
and because I have, I'm very similar. I could relate to how he was happy as you know, yeah. So it was
no,
awesome,
bless
and
him.
yeah, and it's kind of like if you're not in this, it may be difficult for you to understand. But my
Yeah,
admiration of his wife made him so proud in a lot of ways and happy. He was happy for her, feeling sexy, and it's just an all-round beautiful
yeah,
experience. It was
yeah.
amazing. It was amazing.
It's
Yeah,
nice to be around people like that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's nice to be around people. I know two people that are like that, and oh,
yeah,
they've got such beautiful energy.
yeah,
Like like you could speak to them for hours about nothing, about any and
yeah,
everything and nothing at the same time.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
it's not easy to meet people like that. When you do, that it's such a beautiful thing. But
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, do you know
Oh, I
what?
love it.
I would actually say to any single guys, or actually no, any single person out there. I won't say single guys. Any single person out there who meets a couple, um, a little bit of advice. So when you've had your fun,
Yeah.
um, chill out, have a little chat. But no, okay, it might not be universal advice, but this is my instincts. When you've had your fun
Yeah.
and you've chilled out for a while, get the F out of there because they cannot wait to pounce on each other after the adventure. So
That's what I always think. That's what
yeah,
I always forever think.
yeah,
Like if
know when
somebody
to
was
go.
to join, yeah,
Yeah,
if somebody was to join my dynamic afterwards,
yeah,
I would want to destroy
yeah,
someone. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
there,
So
so
know your space and know when
exactly,
to
yeah, yeah.
bow wow.
Exactly. So when it got to fight, I just could. Oh, anyway, I need to go now. So yeah, and
Yeah,
so, and
you
as
can.
I
I
was,
can imagine.
I was
I can
there.
imagine.
I'm putting my shoes in the hall, and they're already stogging each other.
Well, It's like,
Oh,
yeah, we've said goodbye. You know where the door is. It's the same place where you came in from. Just wave or tap us and then just leave through that door.
oh, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, nah.
that
It's
is
yeah.
that's mm, yeah.
The ability to read the room is very important. You
I
have
like
to
that you said
be,
that. Hmm.
yeah, you have to, put yourself in the other people's shoes, and yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway,
Uh, yeah.
right. So I
So
think
yeah,
this is. Do you think this is a good place to end? I
yeah,
actually,
it's
yeah,
this has been good. I actually want to talk more about this. Maybe we can
mm,
revisit this at some point as well and just talk about it because
yeah,
I think I need to experience that. And
mm,
with it's always confused me. I've had partners, one
yeah,
specific in mind, who I feel like to me was like it's like he edges me. He will get into it
mm,
and then he will pause
yeah,
and
yeah,
break. Mm. And it's always like, why are we not getting there? Like,
mm,
I want to, but can't you see my body? Can you read my body language? Can you see what I'm, how I'm carrying myself? I
mm,
want to get there. But maybe it's not important for him to get there. It's important that he can just see how I'm reacting, how I'm responding to him, and that probably gives him the satisfaction.
yeah. No,
And
we can
that's
definitely.
become a bit it's become a beautiful thing for me. So yeah, it's a thing for me and him, and I've always been confused, but I need to understand it a bit more for myself, I think.
Oh, okay,
Mm.
oh, okay. So
Mm.
when you say you've always been confused, what do you mean? I mean, the
As
thoughts
to
that I said
why
that
we don't
people.
get to the end goal.
So are they similar to what I said earlier? You
I think
wonder.
so.
Okay,
I
that's
wonder
interesting.
why they don't want to get to that point. I mean, they've got to that point before, but oftentimes when it's like meets here and there, there's usually that
Mm,
why are we not getting to that point again? Because I enjoy it, but
mm,
it also makes for an interesting time when we see each other again because the intensity is
mm,
even more intensified because of the
mm.
thought. I think for me, for because of the thought of what happened last time,
Yeah.
my intensity is just heightened a lot more.
Mm,
And even if I probably engage with others outside of him, it's still the intensity remains with him, if that makes sense, from the
yes.
last time that I engaged with him.
So it sounds like um, the person who I think you see the most, he's similar. You said that he edges you. So
Hmm.
does he not always come himself?
No.
Right. Okay. And have you had similar conversations to what we're having today about that, or is his take a little bit different?
It's always been, we haven't had conversations on it. And maybe it's a conversation that I will have one day, but I feel like he enjoys that. Comes across as edging to me, which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
So,
everybody's pleasure learning is
hmm,
different. Well, what
yeah.
people get pleasure from, what I get pleasure from, might not necessarily be what he gets pleasure from.
Yeah.
But oh, he certainly pleasures me. Not complaining there.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but the
Yeah.
fact that the simple fact that he pleasures me and makes sure that I am pleasured
Hmm.
is the same sort of wondering moments I have when he gets to that intensity part and then he stops.
Hmm.
For me,
Hmm.
it probably isn't for him. Maybe that satisfies him. I haven't really asked him that question.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, well, maybe it's a conversation that I will need to, well, I will have with him. I don't like
Yeah.
to put emphasis on having conversations like that, like it's you have to have it. But yeah, maybe one day we can just have like a chat about how that makes him feel, because I'd like to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Hmm. Um. Yeah. So it's for me. Yeah. No. That's like I said. That's how I'm wired. but I'm
Mm,
conscious that not everyone is. So although
mm,
I will always say that to people, I do
mm,
realize that, as I said, some people will still see it as a challenge. So even though I'm saying it, I
mm,
suppose maybe they're potentially thinking I'm just being nice to I don't know, reassure them that okay, thinking that okay, yeah, he's just saying that, but he's not really as enjoying it as much as he says he is. He's just saying that to try and be
mm,
nice. You see what I mean? So
mm.
I'm conscious of that. So depending on the situation, I may adjust my stance if you see what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's I do prefer to be in the moment. And also I'm aware that it's a little bit like teasing. Some people
Mm,
react
mm.
to edging differently.
I was gonna
So
say that.
so for one person, the edging
Hmm.
may be part of the turn on, and
Yeah.
for another person, that will be that will lead to the person figuratively wanting to punch me in the face. If you
Mm.
see what I mean, it's like, why are you winding me up like that?
I find, in a way, sort of my
Yeah.
body started understanding the fact that edging
Mm,
can be
mm,
something that can heighten a
yeah.
situation. So I
Yeah.
tend, I've started doing it myself, and I, I don't mean to sound horrible, but
Mm,
because some people would take it as you being horrible. Why are you being so mean? Why don't you just allow him to, things like that would like conspire in
yeah.
the back of people's minds, thinking, oh, you should just, why would you like try and lead someone on? But it's not leading somebody on, it's trying to heighten that experience. And that's how I find it.
Uh,
And then intensifying it. So when I get to engage with you, it's going to be the most enjoyable moment. And that's how I would see it. Maybe somebody else would see it as mean, but it's not mean. It's just a way of spicing things up,
yeah,
I
no, it's part
think.
of the fun. And when you edge,
Yeah.
don't you find that the after a certain amount of edging, the conclusion is much more intense or
Trust
eruptive?
me, even better than just your normal shebang bang.
Yeah.
Even
Mm,
better.
yeah.
Way much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Because I'm not into rushing meets, but when I do meet you,
yeah.
you will know I'm meeting you.
I'm
You will.
vicariously aware of you not rushing.
Oh, listen, I don't. You know me. I
Mm,
really don't. I have to
mm,
feel you out. I have to know who you are because, again, conversations can sort of put people off. Things that people say can put people off. We've had these conversations in one of the groups as well. Like for me, I don't want to know your ins and outs of who you are, but for me to engage with you, I need to be able to understand your way of thinking and what you're thinking within the lifestyle and what you're about, because is what will make for a good sexual experience for me. So
mm,
I would never rush anything. I'm not one of
yeah.
those, let's meet tomorrow, let's get, no, I won't do that. Mm-mm.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, because I want to enjoy it.
mm,
I want to enjoy it, and I want to make sure that I enjoy it, and I want to make sure that I put, again, this is not to the end goal. I want to make sure that I put as much into it for us to both enjoy it, not just to be doing it to do it.
and I would say that that kind of emphasizes that not everyone is the same, and we're
Mm,
not always the same in every situation. So, as much as we both like to take our time, um,
mm,
there are some people, and I'm sure we've both had that ourselves as well, where sometimes very what's like called vigorous intensity can be awesome as well. So right time, right place. So, I mean,
mm.
vigorous, quick intensity has its place and can be extremely pleasurable.
Yeah,
But my default setting is to take my time. But I'm not
but that could
knocking.
also be a
Yeah.
part of that long conversations that, or the engagement that you've had with the person for quite a long time.
Oh,
That could be a part
yeah,
of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And where the conversation is going with that person. So eventually, when you do get to that point, sometimes it's
Oof.
on site. I mean, it
Exactly.
can be on site.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, you're right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because yeah, you're reminding me of occasions where this has especially happened when I've had a sub and
Mm.
I will be winding her up for, you know, sometimes days. You just wind it and wind it and wind it and wind it, and then by the time, yeah, there's yeah, there's
It's
yeah.
it's it's giving bratty submission. I'm very familiar with that. I'm really good. I'm really good at poking intentionally.
Mm, mm.
Poke, 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 poke.
Yeah, yeah,
Have I
that is
poked enough? And
oh my
eventually, it's
goodness.
like when I
Yeah,
see you, it's like,
yeah,
yeah, floods,
yeah.
floods everywhere. Literally, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good.
I'm sure I said about 20 minutes ago we were ending this. So
I know.
yeah, so yeah, that's an easy, yeah, it's just like got floods in my mind now. Anyway, right. So it's been lovely to have another chat with you again. Um,
Always, always,
Looking forward
always,
to catching up with
always,
you again. And
always.
yeah,
Oh,
maybe
E&M Social's coming next week, I think.
okay. Oh
Yeah.
yes,
And the
I
week
think
after that, on the 7th.
yes, I did hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I did
Hmm.
hear that. And
Definitely go to
yeah,
that.
so you've reminded me about all these amazing POC spaces that we have. So it feels like good times. It
Yeah.
feels like good times. It's a great
It
way to
is.
connect with each other. So yeah.
Yes, I'm enjoying it.
Mm,
I really am enjoying meeting everyone, engaging with everyone. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm
mm.
definitely there on Thursday again.
Okay, okay.
And then
Yeah.
the week after that is my birthday.
Oh, how are you
Yay.
celebrating?
I don't know. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll figure it out at some
Yeah,
point.
I'm sure you think of something.
I'm sure I'll think of something. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Right. On
Okay.
that note, let's wish each other
Yes.
goodbye and until next time.
Goodbye. Goodbye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Take
All
care,
right.
everyone.
See you soon. Take care.
Bye.